Alrighty, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be checking out Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive. This is a new action RPG based on the very popular webtoon Solo Leveling, which evidently has over 14.3 billion worldwide views, which that's just insane. Now, the game officially launched on November 24th. I've been checking it out, playing it over the course of a few days, getting some early access here. And today I'm going to be showing it off to you, just letting you know what it's all about. Thank you to Netmarble for sponsoring today's video. We do got links below if you like what you see and you want to try the game out yourself. Go ahead and be sure to use those. But yeah, let's just jump right in. So for starters, what kind of game is this? Well, in terms of the narrative, it takes you along the journey of Sung Jin-woo as he sets out to become the world's strongest hunter. But beyond the story stuff that you get via the cutscenes and animated comic panels, this is a straight up action combat game where you're going out on missions, taking on bosses, fighting a variety of enemies and big battles and all of that, while also getting resources and currency that will fuel the power progression, and doing it on a range of difficulties, like bumping up the power level and trying to push things as high as you can get them to get the best rewards and push things even further. So the game actually starts you out by throwing you into one of those mega super over-the-top anime battles. See how it is. Wow, big guy. Okay, it's spacebar to evade, left click to basic attack. Oh, there's a lot happening right now. Following that intro battle sequence, you're given the option to choose from one of two different difficulty settings. I'll pick hard. Would you like to play the main story on hard difficulty? Push your limits. Enemies in the main story will have boosted HP and attack stats. This difficulty selection can also be changed later in the game, so don't worry, sweetheart. Okay. After which you are run through a more traditional tutorial, being slowly introduced to the basics of combat. I will say the combat feels really good, and that's great, of the utmost importance, honestly. So, like this all feels good to do. I like it. So when I do the weapon swap with C, it has an attack built in, a swap attack. So that's really nice. And they're on separate cooldowns. The F and the Q ability for both weapons are on separate cooldowns. So I can do F and Q for my fists, and then I can weapon swap to my sword and do F and Q again. So right away, I was enjoying the initial feel of the gameplay experience. And also there were some pretty cool encounters there. Okay, avoid the giant godlike attacks and survive until time runs out. So literally just dodge the laser beams. You charging me, brother? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is pretty flippin' cool. I will say as well, some funny dialogue moments. I chuckled. I can't attack them. I'm just running from the centipedes.
Survive for the allotted amount of time?
It's really funny having the actual in-game character verbalize survive for the allotted amount of time. But I get that's like part of what this whole anime is, right? It's like real life character brought into like a video game world thing, right? Now this is a mission-based game as well. So you're gonna go through missions at the end of which each time you'll be giving a ranking. Triple S rank, level 5, HP attack defense, stats acquired, and weapon points. So I continue to progress through the tutorial. We're like an hour or so in, and after those first few missions, you start to really get introduced to what is the main gameplay loop, which essentially looks like this. You'll be going through running campaign missions. This is gonna have you moving through several areas before reaching some sort of a stopping point. Now at that time, you will then have to run missions from the game's world map. So you've got the main story campaign and then the world map missions. Now the map itself is broken up into chapters, with there being 10 of these in total. You start in chapter 1 and then you work your way all the way up. So you'll be playing the main story quest up until a point. Then it's going to tell you, hey, we want you to complete some task based on the mission world map, either completing a couple of missions or clearing a percentage of a certain chapter. So then you go in, you run those, collecting resources and currencies in the process, which then feeds into the game's various progression systems. Then after that, after you complete whatever the task is, like say it's clearing 20% of the missions on the world map, you're then going to be able to continue the main story quest, and this process rinses and repeats. You go through, you do the main story quest, you watch some cutscenes, you do some dialogue, you fight some bosses, reach the end of that section of the main story quest, and then you go back into the world map, at which point you're running missions, collecting resources, you complete whatever the task is, you continue the main story quest, and that goes on and on and on until you reach the end. Keep the main story going. Clear stages in the world map. Okay, I have to do more world map stuff. We're already in chapter 2? Question mark? I feel like I haven't done these. Look at all this. What is this? Yeah, I need these jaws. So I guess I'll run this. Now there's a lot of systems and mechanics in here as well. So you've got the main character that you play as, which you will be leveling and powering up. Power progression comes in through a few different avenues. So there is gear that you will find. This will drop from enemies and can be enhanced. Ooh, blue assassin's boots. Nice. 2 set is crit, which I do have. Yeah, I've got that and these. So let's enhance this. Additional MP. Is it a single enhance? It is. I've got 2-piece assassin as well as 2-piece apprentice mage, yeah? And then you can have different loadouts as well. There's also straight up weapon crafting with upgrade trees that you progress through. All right, we got crafting. Jinwoo weapon crafting, hunter weapon crafting. Those are my other teammates, the hunters, yeah? You can craft various types of weapons. However, to craft higher tier weapons, lower tier weapons may be required. Okay, so you gotta progress down a tree. So there's the hunters and then there's Jinwoo's weapons. For Jinwoo, I have been using 2-handed weapons, magic, pole arms. I think I've been using this pole arm. I think that's the one that I have right now, the lizard glaive. So I need to form predator jaws. Oh, it even gives you the source. Freaking yes, dude. I love when games do this. Yeah, it tells you chapter, literally this mission, defeat chapter 3 encore mission, Cerberus, the gatekeeper of hell. There's a lot of different weapons, it seems. You've got multiple skill trees as well that you'll be progressing through. You play, you level, you unlock currencies, and then you use those to invest in the skill trees, making you more powerful in a few different avenues. Here we go. Now we're RPGing here. Assassin, duelist, elementalist, and ruler. Let's take a look at these previews before I make this choice here. You guys think ruler's good? I mean, this looks pretty sick, bro. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of sold on that. Well, I'll try it. Okay, so there's skill trees per the different weapon types. So you have 2 choices, guys. You can either choose increase the damage of skills that use polearm, or on this side, you can choose increases the damage of skills that use polearm. Increases attack if user's current HP is 80% or more. I think I like the spear one more. I wish there was any details on what it does though. Talking like damage numbers and shit and modifiers, it doesn't really tell me much. The game also has various NPC vendors at what is your central hub lobby, selling various useful things, either power-ups or things for crafting. I think this lady, she does drinks. She sells milk. Can you believe it? Thank you. Creamy milk fills your body. Ugh, fucking A, bro. I've never really been into anime, but I'm starting to get it. And you've got your healing potion, which has several forms of upgrade as well, enhancing its base healing and charges, but also adding various modifiers that give you a benefit whenever you use a potion. So let's see, 350, 2 charges. And what is, I just applied a poison buff to it. When this potion is used, skills have a small chance to inflict poison effects on target for a certain amount of time. Okay. When this potion is used, there's a chance of consuming a potion will not decrease the number of potions the user has. What's the chance, bro? Is there anything, oh, potion enhancements? Ah, yes. 350 to 700, brother. Beautiful. This is also one of those team building games. So you'll be finding and unlocking various hunters, as they're referred to. Each of them come with their own skills and play styles. Well, would I like to add hunters? I suppose? You can form a party with Sung Jinwoo and his fellow hunters to enter a dungeon. Some dungeons require a party of only hunters that are not Jinwoo to enter. I'm forming a team. I've got these guys. How are you? And then him. And those are the only 2 I have. Okay. And then you can set up different loadouts, different synergies and stuff, presumably. So I started out with a setup having what was essentially a paladin tank, a supporting caster, and a fire mage. So beyond progressing the main story quest and then unlocking more of the world map as you go, you're essentially looking to farm the missions in the game to get the resources that you want, which fuel the various forms of crafting and power progression in the game. So once more, this has you pushing through the main story quest, coming to a stopping point, and then farming some of those world map missions to get the resources, the things that you need to make yourself and your hunters stronger, which lets you push the difficulties even higher. Speaking of which, the missions themselves, it's got a whole range of difficulty scaling, starting from 1 star all the way up to 10 stars, which in the process, this will be slowly bumping the enemy level, as well as changing and giving you higher tier and higher rarity resources as a reward. So there's different clear levels, and they reward different resources, and that's the level of the enemy. It's 1 to 10 stars, and 10 stars is level 85. And then every time you change it, it changes the resources you get. So the higher the difficulty rewards different resources for the first time clear. Also, the missions themselves are a mix of either you playing as the main character with periodically getting support from your hunter team, or you just directly playing as your roster of hunters where you have direct control over them. And at which point it kind of works like one of those character swapping games where you'll be swapping between the 3 different hunters in your roster. So you have a main character that you just play as on some missions, but there are other missions where you play as your team. Most of the missions are playing as your main character, but there are other missions where you're playing as a roster of hunters is what they're referred to as. It just depends on the mission because you've got a world map that moves through chapters and there's different missions within each chapter and then depending on the mission. Oh, also there is co-op in this game. Basically, most of those missions, those world map missions that you can run that you'll be doing solo or while playing as your team, you can also play those with other people in parties of up to 4. Co-op lobby, co-op quick search, level 8. I think I'm about that. Fighting the blue lizardmen. Let's do it. Wonder if everyone Jinwoo? No, you probably play the other characters too, right? Okay, we got a full lobby. Is me, Lulu, Ebony, and Sung Jinwoo. Yes, play. Okay, so what's happening? Let's see what happens. Okay, so we are literally all Sung Jinwoo. This is so stupid. What in the anime hell is this? What is going on? Is there no character creation? You're playing as characters. It's one of those games where there's different named characters. Although you get to use different weapons, but I'm assuming there's some visual customization at some point. This is kind of funny though. We're literally playing through the starter mission. I didn't realize. So anyways, at least this helps answer the question. It seems like any mission that you can do yourself, you can also do co-op. Maybe there are specific story missions where that isn't the case, but the game basically seems like a dungeon running game. And you can either do it with AI teammates, with later getting the ability to swap between them yourself, or you can just play with other people playing as other characters while you're doing that. The game's got this entire bounty system and it's simple just as much as it sounds. You basically pick up a bounty at this NPC. You go out, you hunt the target boss in whatever chapter and mission it is. Doing that gives you a special additional rewards. So just accept all of them maybe? Oh, I can only accept one at a time. Well, let's try to do this. Let's try Elite Goblin Fighter, Chapter 4. Hobgoblin Leader, Elite Goblin Fighter. That's this one. Okay. I do like these little goblin dungeon cave thing missions that they have us on. 17 seems very doable. Is this my target here? My bounty target? Dude, combat feels slick in this game. I'll be honest with you. It's pretty good. Let's go back to lobby and collect my reward and then pick another mission. I'll clear those. That seemed kind of interesting. That's the first time I actually felt directed towards stuff to do. So Hunter Association bounty, boom. He is done. I got myself some tickets and some hunter currency. I should mention as well, you might presume that I might have gacha, but there is no gacha in this game. That's been completely removed, none here whatsoever. It's loosely the same as the old version, but they removed gacha, made combat better, added parry system, gave Jinwoo a skill tree, and made dungeons better. Okay, interesting. They do have cosmetics in the game. You just unlock them by playing and completing various challenges and getting them as rewards. The ones that I've unlocked so far have been for the main character that you play as. No cool skins you can change to? I think there are. I just haven't looked into it. That's a good question actually about the skins. I know I do have cosmetics somewhere. Got myself a ponytail. Okay, that's kind of cool. Guy's ripped, huh? Now, after playing for a couple of days, my initial likes are, for starters, I really like the combat. Like, it feels genuinely great to play. I love that team attack where they're all just showing up like that is pretty sick. That's a pretty cool transition screen. It's a long fight. It's because I haven't done anything to power up this crew, so I think they're pretty underpowered. I'm just happy that I can even do this. He's about to die. Look at that! Look at how sick that transition screen is. They look pretty badass. On that same note, there were some rather challenging fights, ones that really tested my reaction timing and making sure I'm using all my skills properly and all of that. I think there's some way to cancel this bleed stacking. Damn it, bro, I dodged right into that. Can I not parry that shit either? Getting wrecked by this dude. Getting absolutely wrecked. So he does this thing, and then he does this. I'm trying to dodge that. I can, like, it's not happening. Okay, I got that one. So I can dodge it. I just have to... Oh, I got my R. This is Usually a decent chunk of damage, like 15%, 10 or 15%. I'm gonna check for that anti-bleeding after this fight though, if I die again. So close. Come on! Please! Oh my god, I did it. Oh my fucking god, yes, thank you. I do enjoy the deep levels of customization in this game. Again, there's quite a few different layers and a lot of systems to engage with for enhancing your character and going through that power progression. I think my character, when I picked the class, these 3 skills were more heavily weighted than anything else. So I'm gonna kind of keep that going. Shining Star. So I've got 2 piece Obsidian, 2 piece of Shining Star. It actually shows all the sets from everything I'm wearing. 2, 2, 2, 2. And I think just the setting and premise in this game is pretty interesting. I never watched the anime myself, but I enjoy what I've seen presented of it here.
The dungeon boss.
I mean, it's a pretty cool, and I kind of like how it's cheesy. I kind of like how cheesy it is, like with the character saying video game things out loud. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Alrighty, well that pretty much does it for our look at Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive. If you like what you see here, be sure to check out that link in the video description below. Thank you once again to Netmarble for sponsoring today's video. And of course, as always, thanks to all of you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the vid, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.